Alrighty players, I'm back, and in this episode I'm going to take care of the rest of the EGT installs. So mounting the EGTs, doing some welding, a little bit of fabrication, marking everything up. There's a little bit of a detail and a bit of a process of installing these EGTs. So if you haven't done before like I hadn't, there'll be a lot to learn in this one. I'm going to heat wrap the exhaust manifold, the external wastegate dump pipe, intake manifold. I put new NOx sensors underneath the intake manifold there, so upgraded the factory 2JZ ones. Also installed another set of NOx sensors for personally so I can tune the car and I can audibly sort of listen to the knock. So that's just for me. They will come out at some point, but for now they're going to stay in. What else have I done? The turbos come back from getting a rebuild, but I'll do another video on that, so hopefully you like that. And yeah, it's looking pretty good, so not far off, and she's going to be back on, launching, doing everything, heaps of feedback, so I'm really happy for that. Hope you like, subscribe, like, do your thing. See you soon. Okay, so I've just marked out all of the spots for the EGTs, and then I've done a center punch. If you can see that there, center punch on there, center punch, bang, booyah, and the final one here. These are all my EGT bungs. I've also thrown it on the linisher, and I don't know if you can see, but I've sort of like grinded in like an angle on it, just so it sort of follows the contour of the piping and is easier to weld. So I'm going to drill out these holes now. What have I got? I've got a few different bits, but the EGT probes are 6.5 millimeters. So I'm going to do the holes at 7 millimeters. Gives us a little wiggle room, and should be good. This is a beautiful table again with beautiful parts. So what do we got here? We got the 6 EGT sensors, so exhaust gas temperature sensors. They go into each port, and pretty much as the title states, it just measures the temperature going into each port coming straight out. So she just sits through there, nice and easy. And I guess with that information you can sort of it helps you determine on the air-fuel ratios of each given cylinder. Not exact, but it definitely gives you a helping hand. So the sensor itself, you can get a closed tip or open tip. This is an open tip, so these act a little bit quicker. They're a 1/4 inch. This is all the Haltech gear. There's not many different sizes, but generally you're just looking for the 1/4 inch stuff. And then I got the weld-on bung kit, which comes with the olives, and then installed all of the bungs. It came out really, really nice. I guess your your angles and your distances are determined by the setup that you've got with your turbocharger and your exhaust downpipe and all that type of stuff. So this is where mine generally have to sit so we don't foul on everything. Should come up pretty good. At the same time, got the exhaust back pressure bung. One thing to notice with doing exhaust back pressure on a twin scroll manifold, so 3 cylinders and 3 cylinders separated from each other. This is a single wastegated version, so I've got a common area of both of, or all 6 cylinders, so I'm able to put just one back pressure sensor or bung onto the common area, so that's pretty handy. Twin external wastegates with twin scroll, they might be a little bit more tricky, but I'm sure you could figure out how to make it work. What else have we got? This is the beautiful Haltech basically CAN module to run all of these. So they all just pin back into here, so nice. And then you just have 4 cables through a CAN network going back to the ECU. I'm going to also heat wrap the exhaust manifold. So I've got all the ties, I've got the little gun and everything. I'm going to heat wrap the external wastegate dump pipe. And I've already installed the Golby's wastegate beanie for the Pro Gate. So, you know, does all this help? Definitely this will help because there's so much heat that comes from here. Not a huge amount of heat that comes from here, but I might as well do it anyway. And I guess it all works out, you know. So should be good. I'll install all of these now. I'm going to sit these ones not in the center of the ports, but about 12 mil in. So only the tip is going to be sitting in there, and it should come up pretty good. So happy days. Oh yeah. All right, next up, let's start heat wrapping. 50 mil Pro Gate. The stuff's quite sticky, so, well, not sticky, but sort of itchy and glassy. But sure I'll get around it. Booyah! So it's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna definitely admit this manifold was not that easy to do. First things first, it's quite a short runner manifold. It's not like a 6 boost or something where it comes down and dips up, and they're relatively long. These are not spaced out. You can see I've only just started the run and I'm pretty much out of space between the two, and it's like that throughout all of them, so you've got to bear with me on that. So it's not as pretty as what it possibly could be, but it's definitely going to work, and I have double wrapped in some places. So external wastegate, that's pretty simple really. It's got the little beanie on it and the dump pipe. And then these guys here, what I did on this setup is I ran my first run till about here, put cable ties on it, first run, first run, first run, first run. And then on this one here, I ran all the way through, and then about sort of halfway started wrapping around the whole thing, around here, around the external wastegate, and it finished up. Then I ran a second top coat just from here all the way through, and a second coat on this rear runner. And I did the exact same on here. So from about here, this is a double run and all the way up. So should work out pretty good. Still a single run around the back here, which there's a lot of heat that comes off here, so I might come up with some type of heat shield just around here, just to sort of hold it in there a bit more. But for the time being, it should come up pretty good. Okay, so we're pretty much all back together again. Intake wise, all the intake and injectors and fuel systems back on, all nice and clean. I got the upgraded knock sensors, the donut style ones underneath the intake manifold there. And I do have another set of knock sensors for tuning purposes that I've mounted onto the block. And they go back into my linked knock block, and that's obviously for tuning and everything. It's very similar to what somebody would use on like a tuner on a dyno machine. This little port here just goes to the audio equipment, so to your headphones, and I can monitor the knock, which is pretty cool, so for road tuning. And what else have we got? So that's the whole intake side done. Happy days. I do have the turbocharger back, as you can see. It has been rebuilt, but in the next video, which will be a short video, I'll explain what happened to the turbo, how it was rebuilt, and the new turbo that will be right next to it, which is a Garrett now, not a Precision. So that'll be real exciting. And what else have we got? We got all the EGTs on there. Excuse the dump pipe just sitting there for now. I've got a couple of little clearance issues. But it's all looking very nice. I'm doing a new oil feed for the rebuilt turbo, and then we have the back pressure set up. Pretty cool. So really coming along now. Happy days. Hope you like, and check out the next video on the new turbo going on this thing. It's humongous. Happy days, guys. Hope you enjoy.